Well, it's a beautiful morning here. I'm standing in the stone circle. The sun is rising there between the ash trees, shining on the willow over there. Kilronan Mountain had some mist on it about 20 minutes ago, but that's cleared. It's an absolutely gorgeous morning. There you can see the sun shining on the big ash tree over there. And the sky is just so blue. Isn't that beautiful? Look, you can just see a little plane up there. And you see, it's so clear. The air is so clear that there's absolutely no jet trails. You'll only get the jet trails in very polluted, heavily laden skies. Some people call them chemtrails. I'm not too sure what they are, but I think that they appear in very polluted skies. But the air here this morning is actually thin. It's beautiful. So, I've been reading a little bit about people who have written books. There's lots and lots of books out there about all aspects of... Oh, good morning, Jack. Peeping at me. All aspects of permaculture and sustainable living, and even from here in Ireland, natural landscaping. So there's lots of different books, and some of them have got great value in terms of what's in them. Great information and ideas and value. But there's one thing which I've got to say, because it does bother me deeply. More and more of these books are on Amazon. Well, I don't think that anyone can be dedicated to Mother Earth and use Amazon as a conduit for getting a book out. Because I don't think that there's anything about Amazon which is compatible with moving forward in a sustainable and regenerative way with Mother Earth. Amazon is about big business and big profits and little tax and no community and nothing for the small country like Ireland that exists. You know, it's about maximum profit. Well, where you have maximum profit, you have minimum care for Mother Earth. That's the old story over and over again. There's a kind of a corporatisation going on, and has been going on for some time. And so-called governments are really sort of extensions of corporations. So I'm very much against using Amazon, and I could have used Amazon myself when I was trying to get my first book out there, A Cottage and 3 Acres, but I made the decision, despite being, despite living below the poverty line, which is what I do here, I made the decision not to go with Amazon and to have my book printed here in Ireland and posted here from Ireland in a rural post office. So I didn't go the Amazon route. So I just wanted to say that because in retrospect, it was one of the defining points of my own journey, because in doing that I then set a template up for how I get other books out, and everything that I'm going to put out here from Bealtaine Cottage. And I hope to get my second book out next month. And thank you to those of you who have pre-ordered and paid for it, because that's helped me a lot. But that second book will be printed even closer to home. I'm going to have that printed in Sligo, which is my local big town. So you can't get any further west here in this particular part of Ireland than Sligo, so it really does benefit a very rural economy, because despite the sophistication of Sligo town, it is on the Atlantic seaboard. There's nothing further on from that. So it's sort of hemmed in, if you like, by the Atlantic. Beautifully hemmed in, may I add. But, you know, there was an old saying when I was growing up, and people up in Oma would have used it regularly. And it's quite a coarse saying, really. But it does hold true. And the saying is quite simply, put your money where your mouth is. I don't know if any of you have heard that saying. Put your money where your mouth is. Well, I think that implies that if you believe in something, you know, show it. Go the full hog. Don't just pay lip service to something. Do the ultimate action, which is literally putting your money into what you believe. So this is something that I have done, and like I've said, it is now the template for any future writing. Look at the way the sun is just shining through these trees. Absolutely beautiful. The lime trees I've planted here on the bank of this little swale. And then on this side I've just put little slips of box in, and they've all taken really well. You can just see now how they go up there. Because wherever you have a channel that carries water, you really do need to protect the sides of it, and planting is the way to do it. Because once you've planted it, then that planting takes care of itself. So you can see here now. So I've finally taken down this tree, although I've got a bit more to take out. It was kind of falling forward a wee bit, and it served its purpose. You see, there's the big long trunk of it. I've taken all the branches off. I'm going to leave that there. That seems to be almost like a natural edge to the path. And you can see in here I've stacked up all the branches. They're all evergreen. All of those will go through the garden shredder and be used then as a cover for the compost toilets. So every last bit of it is going to go back into the land. When I planted the trees initially, they were all planted fairly close together, so it has allowed me the chance to take out trees that have then benefited my ongoing work here. And this evergreen was one of them. You can see how the other trees have taken over. In fact, if I just point the camera upwards, you can see the canopy is quite dense, and that tree was growing towards the light there, so it was literally coming right out across the path. So that seems to have given a little bit more room to the other trees here. There's a beautiful oak tree just over there at the end. You can just see it coming up. It's got 2 litres in it. And of course these lime trees, they grow huge. And they're wonderful because they do drop an awful lot of small twigs and sticks, and you can see them here where I've piled them up. Again, just great kindling. And they develop beautiful shapes and lovely thick girth to them. There's more light coming through here as well. This is the oak tree. It's a beautiful tree. Just beautiful. I've had an ongoing love affair with trees. I think for most of my life, but certainly over the past 13 years. The whole life of the tree, the importance of the tree has really come home to me. I've lived among them, watched them growing, you know, just from babies. It's been wonderful. I like my children. They're better than children though, in many ways. Because they just seem to give and give and give. They don't stop giving. They're wonderful. And there's a joy just walking among them. Now look at that. I see what I think is that the new moon up there? No, it's not. It's, oh, I'll have to look at the chart. Gosh, what is that the new moon or? Let's see if I can get it here on the camera. Where has it gone now? Ah. I can't seem to get it. Just a little slither anyway. I've got my coffee in one hand, camera in the other, glasses on, so I can barely see a foot in front of me. There's a wee bit of colouring going on here in the purple beech, and definite colouring going on in the spirea. Beautiful, beautiful colours actually. Sort of apricot hues. And before I sign off in this video, I have a little something I want to show you, because I think this is possibly one of the most beautiful little trees that you could possibly have in your garden or on your land. Here we go, look at this. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? And as you can imagine from all the tiny fruit on it, it is just covered in blossom in the spring. So this is one of the ornamental apples. Isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm looking forward to getting in here to the lunacy garden over the next few days and doing some contemplative and meditative work. It's a great delight to be able to work on one's own, just in the gardens. These beautiful colours. Autumn has got to be possibly the most beautiful season of the year. because it's a time of passing. But you know, you normally associate passing with sadness. Well, passing, when it comes to what Mother Earth does, is just joyful. It's like an enormous party, a party of colours and smells and sounds. It's divine. Blessings to you on this beautiful Friday morning.